Hello there, thanks so much for tuning in. So I'm Tim, off camera, and this is Digital Armour, a channel all about old school CCGs, TCGs, and occasionally some magic. And today we have got a TCG. So this was one of the few sort of film franchises that was produced by Decipher Inc, the Lord of the Rings trading card game. And these are the two starter decks that were made for the very first set, the Fellowship of the Ring. So, to break it down, each of the three films in the Peter Jackson trilogy had a couple of starter decks made for them and a couple of extra sets made. So, there were basically three sets in each block. One large overriding one at first that was named after each of the films, and then there were subsequent ones. The set that came after this was Mines of Moria, and then there was something about Elf Lords, which was the third one. But these are, like I say, the starter decks that came with the Fellowship of the Ring. There were a few different products that they released. They also did a deluxe starter deck, which I've got on my way from eBay, and they had booster boxes, which we've got this unboxing coming very soon. I'm going to be filming this straight after I've shown you guys these, and can't wait to crack that. So these I got from eBay, and they are opened already, and I basically believed the seller that they were complete, so I didn't have any problems in buying unsealed product. And yeah, we're just missing one common card, and that is it. So we will no doubt find that in here. So I'm not too bothered at all. And he's actually thrown in some extras, which is really, really kind. So these come as, they're branded as a 63 card starter deck. They're a 60 card starter deck, and then you get 3 random rares that aren't actually part of the deck, but you can substitute in if you wanted to. So what we'll do is we will open this up, and in classic Decipher style, you get, we'll put those are the extras to one side, a little miniature rulebook in all of them. Now, I don't believe that this is the full rulebook. I think this is just enough to get you going with the starter decks, but haven't had a proper flick through, and I'm not going to on camera because it's probably quite boring. But definitely loved the old CCGs that came with mini rulebooks. Even Magic did back in 4th edition and 5th edition when they did 60 card decks rather than anything that they do now. So jumping into the deck, this is the Gandalf one, and then we'll look at the Aragorn one in a second. And this TCG was super interesting in the mechanics of it. So your deck consisted of companions, and Frodo is the ring bearer, and it's decided not to focus. Right, hopefully that should lock it in. So you get companions, and basically you build up a companionship, a fellowship, using all kinds of companions, and your job is to get the one ring, which is what I'm missing in here, but it's only a common, from your starting location all the way to the end, and we'll come to the locations at the end. They are landscape cards, and they're numbered in order, so you play them in order. But you also have, within the deck of companions and locations, minions. So you play the good side and the bad side all in one deck. So your job is to get your fellowship all the way to the end to ditch the ring, whilst playing cards that will stop your opponent from doing it. And your opponent has the same kind of deck, so they will also have a fellowship and bad cards, and they'll be trying to get their fellowship to the end and playing their minions to stop you getting yours. So that's a very, very brief overview. So these decks are fixed except for the 3 random rares, like I said. And yeah, I'll walk you through it. So we've got Frodo, and he is a ring bearer, and he is a resistance to the corruption of 10. I don't have the ring in here. Like I say, there's a common version, which is what's included here. But there's also a rare version. I'm not sure what the difference is. It's been nearly 20 years since I last played this game. So we've got a Frodo in here, we've got a Boromir, and what's really nice is that by this stage they started putting the set number. So Fellowship of the Ring is set number 1. This is an uncommon, and that's card number 97. The ordering of the cards is a little bit weird, so when you put them in a ring binder, you're not going to be starting with Frodo, even though at this stage of the game, he was the only ring bearer and you had to have him in your deck. You'd have to turn to slot number 290 if you put him in actual order. So anyway, we've got Boromir, he's a companion. We've got Gandalf, the Grey Wizard, and this is the fixed card that you could only find inside this starter deck. So that's one of the main reasons to pick these up, was for the fixed cards, and we'll show you Aragorn as well. So you actually get two of him. We've got Gimli in here. The other nice thing is that quite a lot of the named characters have two versions. They have like a common or an uncommon version, but they also have a rare version as well to chase after. So it makes it a little bit easier to get sort of like the main characters are what these games generally are all about to the majority of folks. And it's nice not to have to sort of wade through packs and packs to get the occasional rare character. We've got a Legolas, Prince of Mirkwood, Barlaam Butterbur. So we also then have allies, and I can't remember exactly how they react, but they're not companions. They do something or other, who knows. We've got a few bounders. There's no restrictions, I believe, to number of cards of each type that you can have in your deck, but there are uniques, so you can only have obviously one Frodo in play, and that counts for Frodo, but not the subtype of Frodo. So even if you had two different types of Frodo, you could still only have the one Frodo in play. And then you got all kinds of possessions. So we've got hand weapons, we've got events that happen. I think that those are possibly like enchantments in Magic, maybe. Could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see when I start playing again. So yeah, lots of duplicates in here. This is an actual playable deck. So it's not like in Magic, comparing lots of things to Magic, where you end up with a load of chaff and not a very good deck with just sort of loads of one-offs. This is a properly thought out deck where there's multiples and you can just, pick it up and play it. So that was the sort of the good guy side of things. And then we're on to the bad guys, so the armies of Sauron, etc. Just want to talk about the symbols at the top as well. So there's different, not guilds so much. I've completely forgotten what it's called. Cultures, that's it. And so this is, I can't make that out, but possibly that is a Saruman culture, or it might be a Moria culture, something like that. Up here on Frodo, we've got a little leaf, and that is a Shire culture, and so on. So, yeah, something to watch out for. And some cards have synergy with, depending which culture they're in. So, in this deck, we've got lots and lots of goblins of different varieties, lots of 3-ofs. So we've got Moria Scouts. Yeah, so that must be the Moria culture, I believe. And then we might get to some Uruk-hai in here, possibly. We're into some events for the bad guys and conditions. Okay, no, so yeah, no Uruk-hai in this one, unfortunately. And then these are the locations. So these get played out sort of along the table, and your party, you can represent them with counters sort of on each one, and then you can move along as part of your action in each turn to advance the story and move further away from your beginning at the West Farthing, all the way through to the end of the Fellowship at Emmenmuir, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And in the early sets, they numbered them all, so you had a clear progression of where you could go from 1 through to 9 was the progression. In later sets, they did away with this numbering system, so you could just play any location wherever you wanted. There's a few different play styles. There is block constructed, I believe, where you can take any card from the 3 sets in the Fellowship or any 3 cards from the 2 towers and so on. Or then there's other different ones. They released about 17 sets altogether for these. So for the locations, we've got the West Farthing leading to Eton Moors, Council Courtyard, Mithril Mine, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, and it references the Balrog, but there isn't a Balrog in this set, but that is a bit of foreshadowing of what's to come in the Mines of Moria set. Dimrill Dale, Anduin Confluence, Shores of Nen Hithurel. Yeah, my Tolkienish is not quite up to par. So that's everything that you get, and that stack of cards is fixed in every single Fellowship starter deck, and then you get some extras. So these are, who knows if these are what the actual rares in there were, but these are the three rares that. So these are the three rares that were sent to me. I'm not too fussed. A rare's a rare at the end of the day. So we've got one of the Nazgul in here, and there were rare Nazgul and there were uncommon Nazgul as well. And we've got a guard commander, so one of the orcs, and we've got an event. So that was that first box. So we'll put that out of the way, and then we'll quickly open Aragorn. Can flick through this one a lot quicker because I don't need to sort of do so much explaining, I guess. We've got the rule book again, and then we've got a handful of other cards. We've got loads in here, so yeah, threw in some extras. So thank you very much to the chap who I got this off from eBay. So same deal, Frodo's the only ring bearer in this set, and that's what the ring looks like. So this is the common version of the ring. And yeah, all kinds of rules and numbers along the sides here. We've got Aragorn, so this is the fixed card for this deck. So this is the only place that you can get this version of Aragorn. And you can see it's a P down there in the set information rather than a common or an uncommon, etc. We've got Boromir again, we've got Legolas, we've got Sam in here. So he's actually a ring bearer as well. So if Frodo fails, then you can fall back onto Sam. At this stage, you'd always want Frodo because he's got a resistance to the corruption of the Ring of 10, whereas Sam's only 5. We've got some possessions. We've got some Athelas, which is the weed that Liv Tyler uses to cure Frodo's stab wound from the Morgul Blade. I think it's the Morgul Blade. I can't remember. It's been quite a while since I've actually watched the film. So we've got shields as well. We've got hand weapons. We've got some events and conditions. So they're kind of like enchantments and instants or sorceries in magic terms. Keep flicking through. So yeah, the other great thing is that they take stills from the film. Now, some people like that. Some people don't. That's something that I really enjoy, is seeing footage from films. And that's probably why I love these old CCGs so much, this, Star Wars and Star Trek. So, into the bad guy section, and here we've got some Uruk-hai. So again, lots of duplicates in here. It is a fully functioning deck, so you can play this straight out of the box. What I'm going to be doing is, hopefully my friend Rob, who some of you might remember from way back with the M19, I believe it was, Planeswalker decks when they released 5 of them, and we held a little mini tournament. Hopefully Rob is going to, once sort of lockdown and sort of restrictions on coming to each other's homes is lifted, is going to be coming over, and we're going to be playing some of these old starter decks and these old games that we are unboxing and unwrapping on the channel. So that's going to be really exciting. So this is more of Aragorn versus Saruman, whereas this one was more Gandalf versus Moria. So it's really nice how they have different themes, and there's such versatility in a lot of these. So there's different locations in here. There were about 4 or 5 different options for each number 1 to 9 that you went along. So we've got East Road, Bree Gate, Rivendell Terrace, and that looks really pretty, Moria Lake, Bridge of Khazad-dûm, so there's a little bit of crossover, Galadriel's Glade, where she went all weird and spooky, Silverlode Banks, Pillars of the Kings, and the Slopes of Amon-Hen, where it all went wrong for Boromir. And then the extra cards, so this is a mixture of uncommons and rares and things that was just bundled in here. So we've got Weather Hills, Relentless, Host of Vales, Little. Yeah, so there's some uncommons and commons. It must have just been what the chap had lying around. But there's a rare for Thror's map. We've got another common there. Common, Chameleon. A rare, another rare. We've got Lurtz, Servant of Isengard. Another rare there, rare event. And then we've got Old Toby, so you actually get the old pipeweed in the game as well. So this one just allows you to draw a card, but there's lots of different things. There's the characters have pipes that you can play on them as equipment, and then they have pipe weed. So that was looking through the 2 starter decks of the Fellowship of the Ring for the Lord of the Rings TCG. I'll be back very soon with, like I say, the unboxing of this entire booster box, which I'm so looking forward to. It's like a childhood dream come true. Although 2001, when this was released, I think I was 16, 17 at the time. So yeah, teenage dreams rather than childhood dreams, I guess. So we've got that coming. I've also got the deluxe starter set for the Fellowship of the Ring coming, and I've got the 2 starter decks for the Mines of Moria as well. So plenty of Lord of the Rings action on the channel. So thanks very much for watching. If you made it through this far, why not hit the subscribe button, drop a comment down below. Maybe you remember playing this game. Is my vague knowledge and remembering of the rules correct? And yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into this, getting a collection going. So thanks very much. Catch you all on the next one. Take care. Cheers, guys. Bye.